Steven has got one more year syndrome. Can he retire at age 65? Today on Your Money, Your Wealth podcast number 438, Joe and Big Al spitball retirement for him and for MB. Can she and her husband live comfortably if she retires at age 59 and a half? And for Johnny, does he have enough to fill the gap until retirement? And should his dad do Roth conversions before Johnny inherits his wealth? Is Austin maximizing his future gains by saving to his 401k at age 29 rather than to his Roth IRA? But first, how can Mike and his wife leave their kids a lower tax bill when they pass? I'm producer Andy Last, and here are the hosts of Your Money, Your Wealth, Joe Anderson, CFP, and Big Al Clopine, CPA.
Go to yourmoneyyourwealth.com, click on the button, Ask Joe and Big Al.
Yeah, that's the button.
It actually works.
It works.
It works. Great.
You can leave a message or you can write us an email.
Hey, y'all. Coming to you from the great state of Texas, a little town called Boerne, Texas, outside of San Antonio. Hey, listen, my wife and I are 63 and 69. She retired at full Social Security benefits, and she has her own pension and so forth. And I'm going to collect mine here at 63, probably here in probably September. We got about $1 million in tax-deferred IRAs. Got about $170,000 in cash. I guess that covers the emergency fund. I still have a $400K mortgage, which is $1,730 a month. Come September, we'll have about $15,000 a month income coming in from our pensions and in our annuities. It's about $180,000 a year, but only $45,000 is taxable because of I'm a disabled veteran and so forth like that. But I drive a Subaru. I drink a little 8 lager. My question to y'all is I'm concerned of leaving the kids a large tax bill after we pass, in the sense of, I think you got to use it within 10 years if the IRA is passed on to them. How can I mitigate anything if possible? Not worried about income, obviously. I think $15,000 should cover it. So I'm not really thinking about dipping too much into that IRAs, but just your thoughts, would appreciate it. Spitball it for me. Thank you much, Mike.
Very cool.
Yeah, I like that question.
All right. Yeah, $15,000 a month.
Pretty good.
Living large.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, a couple of things, because the stretch IRA is no longer, Al.
Sure.
So, for people that pass with large IRAs, a lot of that just gets blown up by tax.
Yeah, which now exactly. So it means it has to be distributed within 10 years, and there's minimums. You have to do a little bit each year in many cases, not all cases, in many cases, but certainly by year 10, it needs to be fully distributed. And if you have a large IRA balance and maybe just one kid, that's let's say it's $3 million and you got to do it over 10 years. That's $300,000 of extra income for a child each year. Now, if you have 10 kids, it makes it a little bit easier. But I think that the answer, Mike, isn't really that tricky, because you don't have a high taxable income, because most of your pension is non-taxable. So you should be thinking about Roth conversions and get this money to a Roth, and then you don't even have to worry about it. The kids are still going to have to distribute the Roth over 10 years, but they're not going to pay any taxes.
63 years old. He's got $1 million.
Yeah. So
he's got 20 plus years of life expectancy. So that million could go to $4.5 million by the time they pass. And so
it could. I mean, it could be a big number. And right now, and maybe even indefinitely, the taxable income is low. So get that thing out. What you want to do is look at your tax brackets. Probably you're in the 12% federal tax bracket. So you at least want to convert IRA to that amount, but maybe you want to look at the 24%. I don't know. This is where you just kind of need to chart this out. But I'm thinking
you can get a lot of it out.
I'm thinking get all of it out almost by the time it's RMD age, which should probably be 73,
75.
Yeah. Well,
for him.
So for him, 73 probably for her.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to Stephen from Exton, PA. Love the show. I'm a victim of one more year syndrome.
Yeah.
1 more year.
Got to work 1 more year, but I really don't want to.
I hate this place.
I've been here long enough.
Can you spitball if I'm in position to retire at age 65? If I retire before 65, should healthcare costs be a concern? Age 63, wife is 61. $4.5 million total assets. $3 million tax deferred. $500,000 in a Roth and $1 million in a brokerage account. I saved the max into my and my wife's Roth IRA. We earned a combined $200,000 per year. I'd like to plan for both of us to live to 90. I'd like to draw $150,000 in retirement. I'll save approximately $5,000 a month combined in Social Security around 67 years of age. My friend at work is trying to convince me I can retire now, but I keep saying 1 or more 2 years. You think his friend at work wants his job?
It could be.
Hey, Steven, you're fine.
I'm kind of thinking I'm ready for the promotion.
Yeah,
I've been hanging out for 35 years.
I've been hanging out in your office here, wait for you to F and leave. My drink of choice is Sam Adams. All right. I drive a 2019 Ford Edge.
Okay.
And my wife drives a Lincoln. Thanks for your help.
Oh, okay. Cool.
All right. So first of all, congratulations, Stephen. You have saved quite the nest egg.
So you, Stephen, have reached financial independence. I can tell you that. Your friend's right.
So what does he have? $4.5 million.
Yeah. So here's this quick, simple math. If you retire tomorrow, you got 150,000 of expenses. You got 4.5 million. So you divide the expenses 150 into 4.5 million. You get a 3.3% distribution rate at age 63 and 61. That's fine because that's not even including Social Security. By the time Social Security kicks in, you'll have more like a 2% distribution rate. So yes, Stephen, you don't have to wait an extra year unless you want to.
I think he just feels a little bit more secure.
I know. Well, we all do, right? Because to go from
you're still here.
Yeah, I know. What am I doing here? I like that paycheck. That's a good point. Stephen, I'm retiring tomorrow with you.
Well, congratulations, Stephen. But yeah, the 1 year syndrome's a big deal. I mean, it's a true thing.
It's a true thing.
It's like, okay, well, it's tough to jump off the ledge.
It's very tough.
It's like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna give up this paycheck to create my own paycheck. Man, that $4.5 million looks really nice in my check, my brokerage accounts. The last thing I want to do is tap that when I can still work. And
yeah, and so I got to tell you. So yeah, maybe you have to spend a little bit more than 150 because you got to pay healthcare for a couple of years, but you still got enough.
So you've gotten a retirement spitball analysis from Joe and Big Al, and you know when you can retire, but have you thought about how you will spend your time once you are retired? I mean, really thought about it in practical terms. In 2016, a Fidelity investment survey found that 60% of men said that having time to spend with their spouse was a strong factor in their decision to retire, while only 43% of women said the same thing. Download the Retirement Lifestyles Guide from the podcast show notes at yourmoneyyourwealth.com and get some insight and suggestions and ideas to make the most of your lifestyle, your growth, your health, and your relationships in retirement. Click the link in the description of today's episode in your favorite podcast app, go to the show notes, and download the Retirement Lifestyles Guide for free.
I got MB from Louisville, Kentucky writes in. He goes, hello there. I've been listening to you for about a year now. Really enjoy the show and have learned a lot. Andy, you're a saint.
I don't know about that, but thanks, MB.
Have you been called a saint before?
Never. Absolutely not. Not sure why I would be.
First time. Okay.
Yeah.
I am a 57-year-old and want to retire at 59 and a half. Would love a spitball analysis. I'm married and my husband is 58 and will work at least until he's 65. He loves what he does.
Yeah.
Don't we all?
Of course we do. That's why I'm still here.
It's nothing to do with the fat paycheck.
Now I know the real reason.
Current total 401k between the both of us is $2.6 million, mostly in non-Roth. Just started contributing to Roth last year and now putting 90% of my contributions into the Roth options. I make $210,000 annually and my husband $200,000. We both max out the 401ks. We also have $285,000 in a brokerage account, $120,000 in emergency fund. No mortgage. Think we need gross $10K a month to live comfortably. Can I retire at 59 and a half and accomplish the budget needs? I drive a 2019 XC90 Volvo. Wow, that sounds exciting.
Yeah, that's cool.
Sound like a SUV.
Yeah, that's got to be an SUV.
Yeah, there's a lot of XC90. That's probably like really
That,
safe.
that'll be the giant one, right?
Yeah, it is.
Super safe vehicle.
Yep. Unless you drink a glass of Chardonnay while you're driving it.
Love a great glass of Chardonnay. We have 2 golden doodles. One very good boy and one very naughty girl. Thanks for all you do. All right. Thank you, MB.
Wow.
All right. Big Al wants to
Well,
retire, live off about $120,000 a year. Wants to retire at 59 and a half. So there's a bridge for Social Security. She didn't.
there is, but he's going to still work, right?
Because he loves what he does.
Yeah. Right. Or that's what she tells him.
Right.
You love what you do. So
You're
staying.
So he's making 200. They
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to spend 120. So they really don't need to tap into their portfolio.
No. So here's what I did, Joe. So they got about 3 million now. I just did 7 years at 6%, and then adding 30K per year full, 401K. We get about 4.7, right? 4.7. Then I took the 120,000 they want to spend, 3% inflation, 150. So let's see, 150. And this is before Social Security into 4.7. What's that? That's a 3% distribution rate. That should be fine. Here's my concern is I think you're spending more than 120.
Yeah, because they make $400,000.
You're making 410 and taxes are not 300,000.
Yeah.
So just you might want to rethink what you really want to spend in retirement.
Because they're saving, let's call it 50 grand.
Yeah.
All right. 401ks, Roth
Yeah,
IRAs.
yeah,
So if you're
maybe,
making 410 minus 50,
minus taxes, but
they're probably
anyway,
spending
I'm thinking you're spending quite a bit more than you may think. So look at your spending and make sure you're good with that number.
Yeah, because the numbers work at 120.
Of course they do.
Because
it could work a little bit higher.
But it's convincing the husband that, hey, I'm done.
Yeah.
Because once one spouse retires and the other one is still working.
Yeah.
Sometimes
for 7 years.
Yeah, sometimes some conflict arises.
It could happen.
What have you been doing all day? As long as it's the same as when I left for the office.
Don't you remember? You love your job.
I'm out of here too. You're drinking Chardonnay with the ladies all day. So I mean, the financial part looks all good, MB, but I think the relationship part might need some work.
Yeah. So, but I mean, from the numbers you gave us, this does work.
Yeah. Hey guys, and Andy, love the show, longtime listener, and you are my #1 podcast. And yes, I have high standards.
Nice.
Johnny from El Dorado.
Yeah.
Johnny's coming in hot. I don't have animals, but really hope my wife lets me have a dog one day.
Oh, let's hope so, Johnny.
Come on, Johnny. I'm 63 and not good looking. Oh, I'm not not
looking good.
No, he's hoping that his wife will let him have a dog, but he's 63, so it's not looking good.
Oh,
okay.
63.
Thanks for explaining that.
So not looking good. I thought he was
saying I don't look very good.
Terrible looking. My wife won't let me get a dog.
I'm so ugly and I don't get a dog.
Oh, sorry, Johnny.
Yeah, I'm sure you're like really good looking.
Yeah, super hot.
Yep.
I'm 63, still not looking good. All right. I drive an older Tesla, and my beer of choice is Guinness, although I love an Ashland seltzer. Made in San Diego. Yes, I've had an Ashland seltzer.
I don't know about that.
Never had an Ashland, huh?
No.
Really?
Not a big seltzer fan.
No,
Apparently it's the San Diego's best kept secret.
Yeah.
Andy?
Nope. Never even heard of it.
Well, really?
Okay.
Yes.
So you're the one that knows.
Yeah.
Are you more of a drinker than I am?
Seltzer, probably. I will keep this short as possible, hoping to save you from mispronouncing anything. That's a little wise guy here.
It's the truth.
It is very true. Okay, just call me Marble Mouth. Our current net worth is about $4 million, in $2 million in 401k and deferred comp, $1 million in home equity, and another $1 million equity in a rental property. That brings us about $5,000 a month in income. We plan to continue to hold the rental in retirement. I currently earn $250,000 a year, and I plan to work another 4 years at the same amount. I am still paying for kids' college. This will be you, Joe. And it's not so bad since I was able to save a lot when I was younger.
Oh, did you save in your younger years?
I got a couple of bucks.
You did,
saved.
yeah.
Yeah, I was single for a long
Yeah,
time.
you were.
Yeah, just waited till
Just load it up on funds.
just midlife crisis. Let's have a kid. Will this make me happy? Oh boy, here we are. I'm not saving much. I am not saving much each month as cash flow is tight. Currently, however, I am putting the full $30,000 into my Roth 401k at work. We would like to have about $200,000 in annual retirement income at the start of 67. We expect about $60,000 combined in Social Security at 67 in 4 years when I retire, and I'm hoping the other assets I mentioned above might fill the gaps. What do you think? Okay. Lastly, in the real reason for writing you, I will eventually inherit about $1.5 million from my father. He currently has $1 million in IRAs and $300,000 in home equity, as well as $300,000 in cash. Does it make sense to have him convert any or all some of his IRA to Roth? He has the cash to do it, to do this, and it seems to make sense so that I will not be forced to pay the taxes as I inherit the IRA over the next 10 years at a likely higher rate. I would really love to have $1 million in a Roth. Does this tactic make sense? He currently makes about $150,000 of income due to his RMDs and Social Security. Go ahead, guys, pile on me. Let me know what you think. I could take the pain. Thanks so much for all you do. Regards, Johnny from El Dorado, California. Okay.
Well, I'll start with the first thing. What do you think?
What do you think?
Okay. So here's what I'm going to say.
Well, let's answer. Can he retire?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, so that's
what I was going to ask.
That's what, because he said, what do you think twice? I think.
Oh, that could be. I'm going to answer one of the what do you think
questions.
Got it.
So
let's see. Nest egg, he's got a couple $1 million right now. Deferred comp, 401k. I'm just assume it's like liquid, 2 million. So here's what I did, Joe. I took 4 years from now, 6%, adding 30,000 a year, 2 million to start with. He ends up with 2.6.
So $2.6 million when Johnny decides to retire at 67. He's got 2.6.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, roughly based upon my assumptions, right?
Yep.
And then expenses of a couple 100,000, 3% inflation rate. I get 225,000 is his expenses.
Okay.
60K rental, 60K Social Security, 105,000 left over, divided into the 2.6 million, 4% distribution. So, Johnny, you're right on the margin. So theoretically, this should be good. There's not much room for error, but you've got the 1.5 million.
Oh, he's got pocket aces.
maybe coming. So Johnny, yeah, I think you're probably fine. Now you've got a tax problem too, though, because all your money's in a 401k and deferred comp. So we got to think about that too, but you didn't ask about that.
Right. So the $1 million, his dad, his father's 150,000. I'm not sure if he didn't say parents, so I'm guessing maybe dad might be single.
Maybe. Yeah.
So $150,000 of income, that's RMDs and Social Security.
Yeah.
So man, if he's got $1 million, that's a pretty big RMD. He must be
He must be older.
Older.
Yeah.
So that's why he's probably.
You would think so. I'll answer the question from a tax standpoint, but then let's go back. Well, that's a good idea. Otherwise, and so here's how you think about it. If your father's in a lower tax bracket than you, and he doesn't need it, so that's a huge qualifier, which I want to talk about in a second. But if he really, really doesn't need it, and he's in a lower tax bracket than you, yes, he should be converting, right, to get that money paid, to get the tax money paid, and then so you can keep that money in the Roth so that when you get it, it'll be tax free. That's actually kind of a no brainer. But to me, Joe, the bigger question is, are you sure he's not going to need it?
Right.
And is he okay with this?
Yeah. But another way to look at it too is that Johnny's going to have to pay the tax if he inherits it if dad doesn't do anything.
That's right.
So what tax rate is that going to be hypothetically, given what Johnny's goals are? Johnny wants to spend a couple $100,000 a year. He's got rental income, some of that's probably sheltered through depreciation. He's got Social Security, but everything else is going to come from the IRAs, which is going to be taxed at ordinary income. So, and if Johnny's married, he might be in a lower tax bracket than his dad.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but let's say if Johnny's actually in a higher tax bracket, maybe Johnny pays the tax. Dad, why don't you go ahead and convert it and I will help pay that tax?
Yeah.
Because he's going to have to pay the tax regardless if he inherits it over 10 years.
It would be cheaper, right?
It'd be cheaper. I mean, it's just another way to hedge. So, unless he's like, well, no, Dad, you pay the tax and just that will lower my inheritance. Maybe all that money's coming to him, but I don't know what shape.
Yeah,
health wise,
I
Dad's in.
And I don't know whether Dad needs the RMD. I don't know if he needs the cash or not.
I don't think Johnny cares.
That didn't really come up, did it?
No, it did. He calls. Oh, he answered. I guess we gotta wait. So
that's so the concept is fine. I agree with the concept. I just want to make sure Dad is okay and he agrees with your thinking.
Yes. Andy, you got that one, huh?
I got it. Yeah.
I wasn't even listening.
That's terrible. Anyway, is now the time to buy tech stocks? Is it too soon to go global with your investments? And what is next for the Federal Reserve? Find out in our Q3 Financial Market Outlook webinar on Wednesday, July 26th, noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. Get all your investing questions answered live and learn all about what's happened in the financial markets so far this year and what we might be able to expect for the rest of the year in this free webinar hosted by Brian Perry, CFP CFA. He's the Executive Vice President and Chief Investment Officer at Pure Financial Advisors. Click the link in the description of today's episode in your favorite podcast app, go to the show notes, and register for the Q3 Market Outlook webinar now.
Got Austin from Naples, Florida. Hey, Joe, Big Al, new listener here. I've been enjoying your podcast. On my drive to and from work, no pets, I rarely drink, but when I can, I get a free drink at an open bar. I opt for a mojito. So he's just going to open bars.
Yeah, he goes to hotels and gets in with conventions and business. It pretends like he's an employee.
He's like, yeah, I don't drink. But every night of the week, I get a mojito at the open bar. I'm 29 years old.
Oh, well, that's why he wants the free drink. He's
Got
still in building mode.
Oh, and he's a revenue analyst.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just analyzing revenue.
Right.
I'm also an Army vet and was medically retired a few years back. Between my salary, employer matched dividends, and some VA compensation, my gross income is between 150 and 160K. I have about 35 to 40,000 in a Roth, 70,000 in a 401K. I reinvest all tax savings. Very good. $425,000 in taxable brokerage accounts, 22,000 across some CDs, and then $4,000 in a high yielding savings account, about 7,000 in checking. Also have a piggy bank of $47. And then I have some stuff under my pillow.
How many quarters did we get that?
I have about $2.75 in my couch. I just checked the cup holder in my car. There's another 48 cents there.
My brother just came over and gave him a beer, and a little money spilled out of his pocket. So we gotta add that.
I found $1 on the street last week.
I'm expecting to find $1 this week if I look hard enough.
Oh my goodness. You just give us the details here.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's a lot of savings at 29.
Yeah.
My goodness.
He's got a 210 Honda Civic with no power locks. All right. Thanks for that detail.
We had that conversation about power windows the other day, so I think he's following up.
Oh, power locks. Got it.
Okay. All right. And a few other bigger ticket items. I live with my girlfriend and have annual spending is usually around $25,000 per year. That's what Big Al spends a night at the bar.
That wouldn't last too long in my house.
All in, I invest about $100,000 each year, and I'm always looking to bump that up. My question is, my research suggests that I'm actually maximizing potential future gains by doing my 401k all pre-tax as long as I invest the tax savings, which I do. Based on my current situation in my savings investment style, what risk do you foresee me sticking with this approach? Thanks for the input. Austin, what I see with this approach is that you have no life. You gotta start spending a couple of bucks.
He's learned how to get free drinks, so that's pretty good.
He's going to the open
I
bar.
bet he's siphoning gas.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Well,
so I
mean, he's saving $100,000 a year. When does he want to retire? What he must.
Well, 29, you have no idea.
Right. Well, unless he's fired. Then they want to retire.
It could be
He doesn't mention it.
Oh.
Yeah, he doesn't.
So I guess what he's getting at, Al, is so there's after tax. So Roth IRA contributions, you pay the tax and then you put the money in a Roth and it grows 100% tax free. But you forego the tax deduction by putting the money into the Roth IRA.
Yes.
So real simple math. Let's say I have a Roth 401k. I'm in the 25% tax bracket. I put $10,000 into the Roth IRA. I forego a $2,500 tax savings.
Right.
Make sense?
Yep.
If I put it in the pre-tax, I don't have to spend the $10,000. I only have to put in $8,500, or is that right now $7,500, because I get the $2,500 tax savings.
That's right. So if you do the Roth, you're going to have a smaller take-home pay. If you do the regular, you have bigger take-home pay because you're getting tax savings.
So what he's doing, he's like, you know what? I want to even this out. I'm going to go pre-tax and take that $2,500 tax savings, and I'm going to put it into a brokerage account and invest it. Because if you look at it over time, right, if you put it in after tax versus pre-tax. So pre-tax, you have $10,000 in, you get a tax deduction today of $2,500. Let's say that $10,000 grows to $100,000, right?
Right.
So you pull the $100,000 out in the same tax bracket, you're going to pay $25,000 in tax.
Correct.
So you got a $2,500 tax deduction today, but you got to pay the government $25,000 in the future to get the money out.
Right.
Or you put it into the Roth IRA and forego the $2,500 and you grow it to $100,000. You pull it 100% out and you save $25,000.
Right.
So what he's saying is that instead of doing the Roth, I want to go pre-tax, but that $2,500, I'm going to continue to save it into a brokerage account.
Sure.
And over that same time period, given the same rate of return, I should come out even, but I have more liquidity.
Right. Right. So here's my answer. I would go Roth all the way because you're young. You probably will make more in the future. You'll probably be in higher tax brackets, but here would be an exception to that. The exception is if you really are part of FIRE, financial independence, retire early, and you want to retire at 35 or 40 or whatever the number is, you're going to need some money outside of retirement. And this is a good way to do it potentially.
Yeah. Phenomenal. I mean, you're saving $100,000. You're 29 years old. You got $425,000 already in a brokerage account. I mean, what has he got? $1 million plus?
Yeah, he's got it's maybe 700, but it's a lot.
700,000 at 29.
Yeah. I think what I would do is I'd put all 30 into the Roth, and then the other 70 that's going to go into brokerage. That's what I would do.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks, Austin. Keep grinding. But wow.
Yeah, that's amazing, right?
How do you 25,000 a year? Well, he lives with his girlfriend. He gets free mojitos.
He's got that worked out. There's a Holiday Inn right next door. He knows when the companies come in.
Oh, man, I wish I would have done that. All right. Show's called Your Money Well. Thanks all. We'll see you next week.
Joe is Texas bound, and why Al's folks would spend summers in the desert in the Derails at the end of the episode, so stick around. Help new listeners find YMYW by sharing the show with your friends and colleagues and by leaving your honest reviews and ratings for Your Money, Your Wealth in Apple Podcasts and any other podcast app that accepts them. Your Money, Your Wealth is presented by Pure Financial Advisors. Click the Get an Assessment button in the podcast show notes at yourmoneyyourwealth.com or call 888-994-6257 to schedule your free financial assessment in person at one of our 7 offices around the country or online at a date and time convenient for you, no matter where you are. Chances are one of the experienced financial professionals on Joe and Big Al's team at Pure Financial Advisors will be able to identify strategies that'll help you create a more successful retirement. Pure Financial Advisors is a registered investment advisor. This show does not intend to provide personalized investment advice through this broadcast and does not represent that the securities or services discussed are suitable for any investor. Investors are advised not to rely on any information contained in the broadcast in the process of making a full and informed investment decision.
Boerne, Texas.
Yeah. You know it?
No, I'm going to Texas tomorrow.
You are. What part?
H-Town.
Houston.
That would
Yeah.
be Houston. In the summer?
That's going to be great.
Now, how did you pick that?
I didn't.
I knew you'd say that.
Yes.
But, something different.
Yeah, something different.
My parents used to have a condo in Oregon, and they used to rent a place in Palm Desert. And so they used to summer in Palm Desert and winter in Oregon, which made no sense. But
This explains everything. Now.
the reason, well, that's what I'm saying. Why would you go to H-Town summer? But so their reason was that they made more income on the condo because it was also vacation rental.
Right.
So they made more income, and then no one charged anything for rent in Palm Desert in the summer. So they
super savvy.
Yeah, super savvy. I don't know why you're going to H-Town in the summer, but I know why they did.
I don't know. It's like I'm gonna burn.
You thought it was warm in San Diego today.
Oh my goodness! But no, I don't know. I've never been. I'm looking forward to it. I've been to several places in Texas. I like Texas quite a bit.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna go to Houston, Texas tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
Well, good for you.
Yeah. We'll see if I make it back.
You may take lots of changes of clothes, maybe.
Wow.
Take a lot of showers.
Yeah.
My mother was just recently in Texas, El Paso, and said it was 109 degrees. So yeah, bring all of your hot weather clothes.
And it's kind of humid in Houston, right?
Right.
And human.
Yeah.
Human, yeah.
I'll give you the lay down next week.
Okay, perfect. Can't wait.